So in Nawan, which is the world that Lankhmar is in, they really only have two types of magic. They have white magic and they have black magic. Black magic basically is anything that's harsh and physical. So basically, things necromancy based, conjuration based, that sort of thing. White magic is more like the divinatory
Yeah.
lineage.
Instead of the arcane divide split, it's a black and white split.
Yeah, basically. So I wanted to run some things by you guys. I know you guys. We're third level. We're kind of seeing how things work, and we're having.
You're gonna tell me that using all my black magic's gonna impact me. I'm aware of that.
That's okay.
Tell me what the effects are.
No. We haven't got there. We're
Not
still
quite yet.
we're still a long way away from that. But I I don't see any reason why, like say for instance, Luna or Arthur shouldn't be able to learn a divine spell, and
I I wouldn't say no.
and the same goes with the new character Avis wouldn't be able to learn an arcane spell, being a divine caster.
And a bard could learn any spell.
And a bard, anybody can learn any spell.
There you go.
I like the idea of that. We have to have a couple rules so it doesn't get abused. But in the very first story where the Grey Mouser appears, he's training to be a wizard, and he gets beaten up by a bunch of the Duke's men. And I think the very first spell that he casts is akin to a cure light wounds. So it's kind of like a cool precedent that Lieber set, that there wasn't any specifics on magic. Magic's kind of like a wild force that you're harnessing, that you're not really 100% positive it's always going to be the
Yeah, a
exact
soft magic system.
the exact same every time, right?
Yeah, soft magic, very nebulous.
Yeah, exactly. I like the idea of that. Now, like, say for instance, somebody wanted to learn a spell that wasn't like specifically on their list, or somebody came across a spell that wasn't on their list, and it really appealed to them. I would think that it would be okay to learn it. The tricky part comes in where, say, you've got one casting class casted at 4th level, another casting class casted at 3rd level, another casting class casted at 1st level. Like, say, like a paladin, for instance, casts, I think, like Bless Weapon as a 1st level spell, where it might not be available to a cleric until like a 3rd level spell. That's just a for instance, in case. I know that there's not many spells like that, but if we do come across a spell like that, we'll try to find the most standardized level for the spell. Does that seem logical? Like,
Makes sense. Like, for example, the paladin at first level, they can't cast first level spells until 4th level.
exactly.
So that's why it's that way.
It is that's why it's that way, but it is a more powerful spell, so they're getting access to it as that caster, whereas a cleric wouldn't get access to it until later on, right? So I would maybe lean towards maybe the averaging out of all the different classes that can cast a spell, and if it seems pretty much apparent that it's like, let's just take a spell right off the list. It's called the Blade of Barrier. I don't know what it does, but on this list, it's an Alchemist 2, Arcanist 3, Blood Rager 2, Investigator 2, Magus 2, Occultist 2, Psychic 3, Sorcerer 3, Summoner 2, Unchained Summoner 3, and a Wizard 3. Now, it looks like a spell like that, just based on the most numbers, it would probably lean out as a second level spell. But a lot of those spell casting classes are have like a shorter list. They top out at 6, the ones that get it at level 2, as opposed to the ones that give it at level as a level 3 spell. Those ones top out at level 9. So for something like that, I'd be inclined to say that that's a 3rd level spell we could use. Does that seem like a fair way to go about it or adjudicate it, or is this something that you want to just kind of avoid altogether because it gets messy? I like messy.
It seems fair because you're using something that's not meant for your list, so it should be harder, right? That would make sense. So if you're using the higher average, so it should be 3 and you use a 4. First spell you shouldn't be using at all. That seems reasonable to me.
Okay.
I'm not certain how many healing spells I'll be taking, considering my character concept, but I'll definitely keep it in mind.
All right. So, with that
in mind,
yes.
How do scrolls work with that in mind?
Scrolls, I will, when you get a scroll, I'll designate it as a spell level.
I would also think it would still need to be on your list to use, and if you add a spell that's not normally on your list to your list, then it is on your list, but it wouldn't be if you didn't take it, right? So it would still drive the use magic device check unless you specifically added it to your list. That would make sense to me, but that's your call.
Yeah, I hadn't really considered that. If you make every spell available to everybody, then the whole spell on the spell list really doesn't come into play that much, does it? Like last week's. It does
make playing a cleric a nightmare because they prepare from their entire spell list.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking with Lou's new character. I was thinking maybe we could start off with like a prayer book where she has a set number of known spells that she'll increase as she goes along, like a wizard does.
Is that Gimper character or Helper character?
I think it gimps it a little bit, but as you guys are going to see tonight, I'm starting to get a little less tight-fisted with treasure and magic items and things like that.
And levels?
Good levels, yes, and party favors.
After all, the higher level the party is, it just means that you're closer and closer to the fun side of the monster manual.
No, this is the fun side for me. I'm very much a low level guy. I was planning on having this top out at level 8, so yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, in my experience, the game breaks past level 11.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It kind of that level 8 is right when my build goes online, so that's awesome. Actually,
and
it might be level 6 actually.
It breaks down at the table around level 11. With using a tool like Fantasy Grounds, I think it kind of keeps it in play a little bit longer, because you don't have to do as much math if you've got all the different effects and everything.
I mean breaking in terms of, I'm an 11th level wizard. I'm going to scry, I'm going to teleport, I'm improved invisible, I kill everybody, nobody knows I was there. Okay, that was a fun module.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I just confirmed it. Level 8 is the moment I can finally just say, no, you're not immune to my fear spells. You're not. That's the moment I get to do that. That's the moment I really start to
well, we haven't
become powerful.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how it goes. If it gets kind of silly, then we'll pack it in.
Yeah. Honestly, if I at least reach that level, I'll consider this character concept booked, and I can move on from it because I've tried to make this character 3 times.
Well, you've made him, and he's doing well.
He seems to be working this time. Even if I don't fully complete it this time, I'm done. I'll retire that idea and move on to something else.
And that idea doesn't play out in pure Pathfinder either. They've kind of nerfed it, so this might
be some 3.5 digging.
Yeah, this might be your last chance anyway, Charlie.
Yeah, not sure. Not sure how many 3.5 games I'm gonna find.
Yeah, this is kind of for the record, everybody. This is Lou. Lou's going to be joining us on our weekly
Hello, Lou.
campaigns. She knows
Weekly, we're bumping it up.
our bi-weekly camp.
Bro.
She's got a new character. She's going to take Tal's place, which is nice. Nice to have a fifth back.
Hello.
Lou,
Hello. Did I not push the right buttons? I didn't. Yay.
that's okay. Lou, that's Sky or Psy. I'm still not sure about that one. He plays Arthur. Arthur is our sorcerer.
Yeah, with the accent that changes because I'm never good with accents, so
No.
they keep changing. I keep trying to go with a fake French, but it always stops being that. It just becomes something different.
And we've got Alex. He plays Zed, and Zed's sidekick Bakai. We're not really Zed's some kind of spellcaster, but we're not 100% sure what
It's Lankhmar. You don't know.
exactly. That's exactly
You're a
it.
spellcaster.
Yeah, sure.
You're a magic man. You're a
I'm
mage
just
of some
Not
form.
not a defensive caster, more of a buffer.
I guess considering your thing, you'd probably be primarily a black mage.
Hey.
Nasdaq plays Luna. Luna is kind of like a wild elf spear maiden who has a firm grasp on the arcane arts.
I'm a wizard.
She is a wizard, all right. And
Yes, and I believe one of our only melee combatants.
I'm the tank for the party.
yeah,
Of
the
course,
tank.
as any good wizard should be.
And you know Ray. Ray plays Asami, a bard from the small towns and stuff beyond Lankhmar. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to start with we got a little mop up to do after last session. Last session got kind of crazy and messy, and it was a lot of fun.
Yes, a big enemy
Reheal?
did withstand, I believe, 11 to 12 rounds with not 11 to 12 rounds.
Yeah, I think
like 7 or 8 rounds with powerful enemy.
Yeah,
was fine
I think we
for the most
stopped.
part.
I think we stopped scrolling through the combat tracker at round 9, so it went like 10 or 11 rounds. It was definitely a heavyweight fight.
I think it was 10 or 11 because that's how long the spell lasts.
Yeah, and it took you 2 rounds to get the spell off, so you had a couple rounds left.
Yeah, it was a
And they-
1-round casting.
Yeah, exactly. So things have all gone quiet. Arthur's hand stopped shaking a little bit. Everybody's beat up. Your life force has been drained. You're not physically wounded. Your energy is sapped. I don't think there was too many actual like blows rained down on anybody except for maybe Luna. Luna got in the fight a little bit.
Well, we took damage from his channel energy.
That's what I'm.
Points, yeah.
That's what I mean. Just like a black energy that washed over you. That
Yeah, our very spirits have been sapped.
it's kind of like a breath of relief. And a quiet falls over the cavern.
Well, we probably should recover as best we can, search the rooms, and head back to town.
Yeah, you said we barricaded ourselves into that one final room. What exactly was in this room again?
Let me bring that up for you.
I know Lou doesn't have a character in the room with us, but is there a way for her to at least view what we're doing?
Yes,
while
absolutely. Sorry about that. I will do
Yeah.
that there, and I'll just.
I'm certain she'll be introduced momentarily.
Yeah, she's for sure going to be introduced momentarily. What?
She was to do the same thing we did. And she shows up. Where's the bad guy? He's already dead.
So let's see here. There we go. Oh, I got multiples on the combat tracker. I'll take them all off and put one on fresh so I know it's the right one. There we go. And I'll drag you onto our map. You're not out there or anything. I'm just putting it on there so you have a look at where they are and stuff like that. So where you were in the room, where you've barricaded yourselves in, this chamber contains a half dozen dirty mats that look recently used along table sits against the far wall opposite the door. And that table's been knocked over and moved around and shuffled and that sort of thing. As you guys decided whether to use it to barricade the door with it or not. The room's kind of in disarray, and you're kind of all just back against the wall, waiting for either Veltargo or the entity to burst into the chamber at any time. But neither one of those things happens. So now you find yourself just quiet in a room.
Great role playing, everybody.
I was thinking for a moment.
So, have we searched this room well?
No, the fight just ended. It just ended seconds ago.
All right.
Yeah, have a quick
search.
Yeah, have a quick look through the room. In the room, you find underneath where the table was, there's like a small unlocked chest. It's got quite a bit of coin in it.
Well, we got time. Let's count it.
All right.
1, 2.
You start sifting through it. There's a handful of gold rooks, but it's mostly silver smarducks and bronze eagles. And there's probably it's spread out between several bags. There's probably about 17 or 1800 coins altogether. But to sift through and count it all out, you can definitely do that over the course of time. There's a bunch of sleeping pallets on the ground. You found that note, of course, that read, Valtargo, we shall return as soon as we gather the necessary components required by the book. Soon all of the otherworldly secrets will be within our grasp. Your slumber will prove fruitful. May the dreams of the sleeper light your path.
Did we collect the book from him?
The book is on a pedestal in front of the statue of Shathagua in the other chamber beyond the door. As far as you know, it was not disturbed by the combat that roared around it.
We should probably get that book.
Arthur is still within his little corner, just sitting down. You can almost hear a faint chuckle coming from him.
Well, I'll peek out the door, see if there's anything going on. Are we aware combat ended, or we suspect combat ended?
You suspect combat ended.
Did I not tell them?
Arthur, you're not 100% sure what happens to that creature once the spell ends, but you heard it speak in your mind, and you suspect it's gone.
It implied that it had departed. Yeah.
It implied that it wanted you to invite it back to this realm to play again.
Yeah.
And your hold over it via the spell has ended. So if it you can't sense it, although you don't know if you would be able to sense it.
That makes perfect sense. So we would be on our toes after that experience.
So Asami listens, and you don't really hear any activity out there. You don't hear the shuffle of Veltargo's boots or his underpriest. You don't hear the wailing calls of that otherworldly creature that Arthur summoned.
Looks clear.
You just once you open the door, just the dripping of the ether from Shathagua's statue's eyes down into the pool, and then the slowest of slow trickles as it oozes down the channel towards the pond, lake, puddle at the other end of the temple. The doors are closed. The whispering susurrus of the pillars is not evident. Everything seems clear.
Does the rate of flow of water, does that look like it's changed or remain the same?
It looks the same. It's it's extremely gradual. Like it would be like if you had a drip in your tap every 2 or 3 seconds. Drip. Drip. But if anyone's ever had a drip in their tap, they'll know that every few seconds when there's a drip, pretty soon the sink is full.
Well, I start moving the table and opening the door.
Okay. Door opens up. Still quiet. Still quiet. And the Book of Eibon, resting open to a page. I believe I played you the page as we signed off last week, just as a what you were going to see when you spied the book. So when this so the book is open to a page. It's got a bunch of writing on one side, and another descriptive illustration of what can only be described as madness on the page opposite. And the text on the other page writes, "For Ubosathla is the source and the end, before the coming of..." And then you notice that it's spelled differently than you've seen it spelled before. Jathakwa, or Yakzakloth, or Cthulat from the stars. Ubosathla dwelleth in the steaming fens of the new-made earth, a mass without head or members, spawning the gray, formless F's of the prime and the grisly prototypes of terrene life, and all earthly life, it is told, shall go back at last through the great cycle of time to Ubosathla. Now, if you think about it, when you first entered this temple, Luna faced off against that creature without form, born of the very aether that it was resting in, and she managed to vanquish it, much to the DM's surprise. But perhaps this is referring to that. And the actual covers of the book itself, because you guys you've handled this book before, ever so briefly, only to basically pick it up, close it, put it within a sack, and then hand it off to Rackernash, the Slayer, to take back to Duke Danao. So that's what it looked like on the outside. It's about 3 feet tall by about 18 inches wide. It's got brass coverings, etchings into the leather. This book is old. This book is older than maybe some of the buildings and some of the oldest buildings in Lankhmar. It's probably older than that. It's got 2 clasps that lock fast. You know that as soon as you closed it the last time, it closed up on itself, and those those clasps closed of their own accord. When you scanned it for magic, you got very powerful necromantic and conjuration auras. And you also detected something evil within it. And on the page that is holding that is kind of like a bookmark sitting in the crook of the page is what looks like a key, almost like a finger bone, and it looks like this.
This dead acolyte, I assume that's what he was.
Yeah.
Is he wearing a cloak?
Yes.
I'm going to remove the cloak from his corpse.
Okay.
And spread it on the floor near the book.
Okay.
I don't want to touch the book.
I'll show you what he looked like. He also has a cloak. So, yeah, and his gear and stuff like that. I forget how he died. I think he died at the hand of either Laird or Bukai. I think it was Bukai. Drove her sword.
Are you stripping someone?
Just taking the cloak and spreading it on the floor. My goal is to put the book on the cloak so I don't have to touch the book, and it'll be wrapped and it'll be hidden. Protect it a little bit, I guess. So
Okay.
when we carry it, it's not immediately visible.
What about the key? Are you going to close it on the key, or are you going to take the
touch
key
the
out?
book. Yeah, I kind of want others to get around and sort of provide input how they want to do it, decide who's carrying it, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I'm not interested in being the one carrying it, but I can.
Arthur will gladly carry it.
Yeah, it seems like an Arthur thing. Yeah. I mean that as a good thing, but yeah.
Arthur will gladly take his mage hand and get that into his backpack of wonders.
Okay, so you go to lift it with the mage hand, and the book resists.
It resists because it's too heavy, or it resists because it just refuses?
In Pathfinder, mage hand does not lift magic items, but it is too heavy, and it probably also refuses. It's probably all of the above.
It can lift magic items.
No.
Oh, one non-magical. Oh,
Yes.
it's in the targets.
Yes. So this is clearly an item. It's not just a collection of knowledge.
Curious. Arthur's gonna go ahead and just pick it up.
Okay, pick it up, leaving it open or folding it closed.
He's just sort of picking it up. You said it was 3 feet long?
3 feet tall.
That is a mighty book.
3 feet tall, and when it's open, it's about 3.5 feet. So about 18 inches. About 18 inches width.
How heavy is this thing?
It probably weighs about 10 or 12 pounds. I think I have the actual.
While I would love to carry it, my feeble frame cannot do so.
The Book of Eibon weighs 12 pounds.
Like I said, my feeble frame cannot possibly carry this book. Someone else will need to. As much to my chagrin.
Sunday comes over. He'll grab it.
The I'm assuming you're going to close it to carry it.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the skeletal finger bone key that kicked all of this madness off?
That I can pick up and hold.
Yeah, I should keep it separate. Yeah, good idea.
So take it out and then close the book.
All right, I got one skeletal finger bone.
Okay, let me put all that stuff into
Did
the.
that guy have any other interesting gear?
Hang on here. I dragged the wrong thing. No, I didn't. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so between all the cultists had masterwork chain shirt, a masterwork short sword, silver unholy symbol of Chautauqua, 2 smoke sticks, a tender twig, and where does that keep disappearing? Oh, Arthur. Okay, Arthur took it. Great. Okay, and then you see that from you don't see Veltargo's body anywhere in this chamber.
So, I'm having no understanding of how that spell worked. I look at Arthur and be like, "Do you think that spiritual thing took Valtargo with just body at all? Took him away?"
Let's look for blood traces. Maybe somebody just hauled them off.
I doubt. Arthur's gonna go ahead and take a peek over out here.
Okay, you can see Veltargo lays on the ground, kind of folded back over his legs, and his head is kind of like arched all the way back. He's on his back, and his kind of legs are kind of crumpled up beneath him. His arms are kind of spread out in just an extremely awkward pose, and his head is kind of lolled back. His eyes are wide open, and they're staring at you, Arthur.
Yes. I believe he is dead.
He's moving or not moving?
Not moving.
Okay.
Do you still hear the voices since you're at the door?
Good question. Do I hear those whispers?
You do.
Well, the counter song worked before, so we should all just like get near the door and I'll do it, and then we can run through that area. And remember, we walked by that monster with our badges, so we need to have them out again unless we want to fight that monster.
We don't think there's any way to tamper with this stream that might desecrate it so it doesn't continue producing.
You don't know. You could maybe fool with tipping over the statue, or
Cast detect magic and look for a source of what's causing that.
yeah, the source on this statue is extremely evident. It's the half sleeping eyes of the alien frog like entity known as Chautauqua.
So it's the eyes?
Yeah, it was the aether's dripping out of the eyes. But you also know that along the bowl of the lake, it was also running down the wall. So you don't think the source of the entire place was just this statue. But the source of this stream flowing out to the pool is definitely the statue.
Like gems or just holes?
Just carved in stone.
How tough would it be to topple the statue?
Probably with some rope and a little bit of muscle power in about 10 minutes, you could probably do it.
I'm game for it.
Yeah, with all of us pulling on it, it ought to come down pretty easily.
Yank that sucker.
Yeah. So you get yourself into a nice, fairly safe. Does anybody have like engineering skill? Just to maybe avoid a catastrophic mishap?
No, but I built an IKEA bookshelf once.
That came with an Allen key, though. This doesn't. Yeah. So So I'm
Well, I
assuming.
can take 10 on a knowledge check, right?
Yeah, you can.
Well, I don't think I can on one I'm not trained in.
Oh, okay.
Is that true?
Well, I don't know exactly. How does Bard work? Do you get access to all the different
We
skills?
have, they're all class skills, but I have to still put a rank in it to, use it, right?
I see. And you can use your performance check only for certain things like diplomacy and stuff like that.
Versatile performance each perform has 2 skills tied to it.
Okay.
And at level 2 and 6 and 10, you can choose a different perform skill to go with those connected skills.
Alrighty.
So like perform oratory has diplomacy and sense motive. That's what she's using at level 2. At level 6, she's going to use comedy, which would be bluff and intimidate.
Okay. Yeah,
So
no problem. So yeah, so
none of it relates to knowledge.
you're pretty sure that if you maybe had somebody with a bit of a lever on one end and a person with a rope tied around the neck at the other end, and had a team of people pulling, it'd be fairly safe, and you could topple it over. So we don't want to get into the nitty gritty, but let's say it costs you about 15 minutes, if that's what you want to do.
Okay.
Arthur's going to interject with just planning to deface those priests, are you?
Priest?
Yes, the priests of Shathak. Problem.
I'm just planning to get rid of this corruption so nobody else sets up shop here.
Speaking of which, I believe a example should be made. Does anyone have a hacksaw and some cloth? I could definitely borrow some.
Got cloth right here, and I hand you the cloak from the dead dude.
Excellent. And the hacksaw?
Yeah, no, I don't normally carry that.
Shame.
That is not part of my normal bardic performance. Hacksaw.
Unfortunate.
I kind of get a feeling it is fortunate. I don't know.
Yes, you, Paladin?
I don't. Were you planning on displaying his head in the city square?
Yes, actually.
It's
I'm glad that two great minds think alike.
No, they don't.
Now please follow me.
It's probably a poor idea. You don't know how deep this runs. This
So
river.
as we go through the voices, if we still hear the voices, I will do the counter song to attempt to protect us from
Okay. Yeah, you definitely
Jeez,
do
I
hear the
know
voices. And
Please, I do not fear those priests.
I did learn
But soon
that,
they will fear me.
I can't use specifically for counter song. Last time I used perform oratory and it doesn't count. I specifically have to use certain perform skills.
okay,
Wind is one of them, so I have to roll a wind instead of last time what I did.
I see. And what's your max duration on all of this? Veltargo has some items on him that you may want to strip before you move on, as opposed to dismembering him.
So
You have a
counter
limit.
song, it's based off of bardic inspiration uses, and I have the lingering performance. So each use is 3 rounds.
Right. How much do you have left? I know you used a bunch.
I did. I still have some left, but I'm gonna look. Actually, I've only checked 2. I don't think that's right. I think I've used more, so I'm gonna go ahead and double that, and so I have 7 left.
Okay, so roughly 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Arthur, if you think you can, if you don't want to take, you think you can behead him in 2 minutes?
I'm not doing it. I don't have the proper equipment.
Okay,
Paladin, your axe. Behead this man.
I will not.
Fine. I'll do it myself. He just holds out his hand.
He says, first let me, so while all this is going on, Asami is performing,
Whistling, just whistling a tune.
performing
Happy. Yeah.
to keep from the whispers of madness from gaining an effect on you.
Yeah.
And
You can
he
use
says,
your will. I'm sorry to interrupt. You can use your will save or the 30, whichever you choose.
so Laird says, perhaps we should. I'm going to search his personal items. So before you start hacking, and he
Do as you may.
he takes about 2 or 3 rounds to go through all his stuff. And collects them all in a bag and hands the bag over to whoever. Either Bakai or Luna or Zed. Arthur's got his hands full with the paladin's axe.
The guy's trying to topple the statues, so.
Okay, yeah, the statue's down.
Okay.
We did that first, and then
What's in the bag?
what's in the bag? So it is. Veltargo's got a prayer book, which is a listing of all the spells that he was aware of, and he's got a dagger, a heavy mace, and a silver unholy symbol of Shithakwa. So if you gathered up all the stuff, you had 505 silver pieces, 1,000 bronze eagles, 20 gold rilks, and then all the rest of the items within the party sheet. And the only thing that's unidentified is the Book of Eibon. It should come out as large leather and ebony bound tome.
Once the statue is down, is the corruption less?
I don't know. Are you able to sense such things, or?
Or detect magic?
Okay, you detect magic. Yeah, sort of. I mean, this liquid's going to linger here for who knows how long. And maybe the only real way to get rid of all this stuff is to close the hole in the ground.
All right. Well, we may have to do that. But we should get out of here and get a different party member, since that paladin seems to be wanting to leave.
He seems to be very, very disagreeable. All right, so you guys said you were gonna put out the unholy symbols and show it to the guardian of the pool, and then make your way past. Does anybody want to do anything else before we leave this area?
Why, of course. I believe I announced it before.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Now,
Pulling the badge out just in case that lake monster is there. I don't
Yeah.
wanna pull a Wayne's World on him again. That was fun.
yeah, do I have Larrett's axe?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, who's giving it to you?
Excellent. This should be simple enough. I'm gonna go ahead and hoist that up with all the might I can muster.
Okay.
Gonna try and take that head off.
All right. You might not get it the first couple times or the first time. I don't know how much wood you've chopped in your day,
Oh, he's in no mood to complain.
but you eventually will get it. And it's a bloody head now. How do you plan on transporting the bloody head?
I'm going to wrap it in cloth so that it doesn't bleed all over my precious valuables. I'm
Okay.
gonna try and not staunch it necessarily, but try and get it clean enough to where I could safely put it in my bag without worrying about it contaminating too much.
You're pretty sure that no matter what you wrap it in, it's going to bleed through if you put it in the bag. Whereas if you kind of tie it up, you can kind of hang it off your hip if you want.
That's a good idea. I should put it around my hip for now. At least let it bleed out.
Yeah,
in the meantime.
you can completely cover it like a bag tied to your hip kind of thing. You can do that. But if you put it in with the sack with the stuff, you're going to get blood on it.
That's what the cape's for.
All right.
Let's put it on my the back right.
All right. So everybody, so you know that all this is going on, and Asami's getting to the point where she's maybe running out of time for her powers over this.
Yeah, that's why I moved ahead.
Yeah. So everybody kind of, we don't need the map anymore. Everyone kind of files out of here, and you start up the stairs.
How many uses do you think I would have used to get us through all that?
I would say at least 4.
Yeah, as Arthur passes by Larrett, he just hands him the axe covered in blood. I thank you for the assistance.
I thank you
Just walks on forward.
I thank you for saving all of our lives. All right, so Larry takes the lead, and up the stairs, everybody's kind of following along. You get to a point where, do you remember where that sarcophagus was?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember how it branched off into two different areas that kind of went to the same place? They kind of jogged around like a pillar.
Yes.
There's only one path now, and the path doesn't lead to the sarcophagus. And Larry looks confused. It's dark. You guys are tired. You've been breathing in these aether fumes for the last, I don't know, maybe an hour.
If I remember right, we were gonna open it, and then we got the warning and decided we would consider it on the way out.
Right. And Larry says, I don't see that path. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but it branched in two different directions here, and then just off to the right there, I see only this one pathway ahead.
Search for secret.
Yeah,
Otherwise?
absolutely.
Somebody with good roll want to do it.
That's a big ask for any of us to have good rolls in perception.
Yeah. Looks clear.
Yeah, you don't see any alternative way out. In fact,
I'll give a cursory glance. Oh,
just this one passageway, and it doesn't even really wind up like the other ones did. You know how there was kind of like natural stairs as you kind of wound your way down from the surface into this kind of like depths. It's not even like that anymore. You've gotten up the stairs, and the overlook to the pool was the same, and you wandered through that little chamber where you fought those kind of alien sort of creatures that had been distorted by the aether and had that menacing howl. And then you get into the passageway, and where it should branch almost three ways, it does not. And the steps up aren't there. It almost feels colder here, if that makes sense. And there's only one way as opposed to
This is
three.
the only way. We should get going, get out of here.
Okay. So
no point you want to make here.
I don't want to lead the way though.
Okay, so Larry will lead the way, and he's shining the lantern up ahead, and you know how it's kind of curved around the central pool. This goes in a different direction. It goes first to the right, and then to the left, and then you're kind of like in a mist, and it's gone from cold now to humid, and Larry can see his breath from the heat, and then you no longer smell the aether anymore. That pervasive kind of alcohol-y scent that was kind of everywhere in this temple. And he looks confused, and he knows that there's nothing else to do but continue, so he continues. And he says, stay close. I don't know what sort of devilry this is.
I'm going to go ahead and activate Detect Magic, see what's going on here.
Okay.
I'm going to have that active until we come across a complication.
Okay. You're detecting conjuration magic and abjuration magic.
Creation and protection. Not an illusion like I expected.
Not transmutation or something.
Or transmutation, that is.
No. So you've come to a point now, it's a crossroads, and everybody's felt like a lurch in their stomach, like in modern terms, I'll describe it like the sensation that you get when you jump off a short cliff or when an elevator starts. Just kind of like a sensation of movement, even though there isn't any apparent movement. Larret is not up ahead. And there's an intersection that goes 3 different ways now. It goes straight ahead, it goes to the left, to the right, and the mist is almost impossible to see through now. It's thick, but it's no longer hot. It's cool again.
Any ideas, wizard? I'll take that as a no.
Any direction detect magic or footprints?
They all do.
Hmm.
And it's getting stronger as you go. And when you felt that lurch, Arthur, the flash that you got in front of your eyes almost kind of left like a bright light flash in your eyes from the dark. It's kind of almost like a little starry effect. Something powerful happened.
Well, ain't this interesting? So, we have 3 options. What does the group agree on?
I always go right.
Yep, might as well. Just pick a direction and proceed. I'm going to pull out some chalk and draw on the wall. So that we've been here, point an arrow towards the path we're going.
Okay. It's hard to see on the wall, and the wall's kind of like wet with moisture. But yeah, you definitely do make the mark. And you try.
What about the ground?
Okay. Also the ground. It's a different kind of stone too that you noticed. Now that you look at the ground and look at, it's kind of not that same kind of like dark grayish kind of stone anymore. It's almost like a really black basalt with almost the thinnest layer of moss, almost like a carpet beneath your feet.
I'll just put an arrow on the ground too.
Okay, for sure.
And pick the direction. Let's go.
You guys are going to go right?
Right.
Okay, so you head right. So you head right now, and Larret is no longer with you. You don't know if he's walked ahead. You don't see him up ahead. You don't hear him up ahead. You don't see his light. You walk for what feels like... It could maybe feel like a minute, or it could feel like an hour. It is a strange sensation that you're experiencing right now. Something arcane is occurring, and you arrive to an opening. And the opening kind of widens, the passageway widens, and it opens into a large cavern. And Avis as well, you've been going through these same sensations in your exploration of a cave nearby your home. And being that not an unusual activity for you, the paths that you normally took have led you to a very similar circumstance. And across a 40 or 50 foot wide cavern, you see a group of men and women with various sorts of sources of light and stuff like that. And they look as confused as you are to be here. But what you see within the cavern is the winding passages through the mist-dampened intersections and dizzying labyrinthine corridors leads eventually to an open and spacious cavern. The ceiling is vaulted beyond a view, and the floor is tiled with marble black and white chessboard motif of huge 5-foot squares. Across the room, some 50 feet away, sits a huge figure shrouded in voluminous robes. The figure is hooded, the darkness within pierced by one single light that seems to float of its own volition. Seated, it is roughly as tall as the tallest among you, with a great pot belly on which rests its robed arms. It is seated on a great volume of plush pillows and is clearly smoking a massive, many-appendaged water pipe with a fragrant tobacco reminiscent of cherries. In a clear and welcoming voice, the entity greets you. Welcome, gentle sons and daughters of Nawan. Welcome to my home. You may call me Ningauble, and it's my greatest pleasure to make your acquaintance. Won't you come sit and share tales with me?
It doesn't seem fishy at all, so yes.
Is this a person?
I have a picture for you. In the picture, there is several motes of light, but in the situation right now, you see only one.
Yeah, definitely doing sense motive. Do I feel comfortable with this person being so welcome?
There's always suspicions. He hasn't done anything right at this instant to make you feel ill at ease.
Well, we are tired, and maybe we can get some rest with this.
You can tell by his tone that he's trying to sound welcoming. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, you don't know.
Where are the other people?
Your group is behind you or with you. You guys are all kind of at the mouth of the cavern, and across
You said there were,
across the cavern, you see another figure, and maybe you could describe yourself for us, Lou.
Oh boy.
Just maybe physically what you look like.
I have to remember where I wrote it. Again, I have no idea how tall the party is, but she's small. Maybe just slightly over 4 feet tall.
Okay.
She's very dark skinned. Almost looks like obsidian or granite. She is wearing some scale mail. Yes, I did. She's wearing some a chain shirt, and she's got a mace, a shield on her back. And she looks a little confused in why she's here.
So do we.
Yes, everybody's equally confused. Come, sit. Would you take some wine, perhaps, instead of smoke or? Yes, come and sit. I am Ningauble, and I have been wanting to meet all of you for some time.
Good. Detect magic on the wine if it seems harmless. I'll imbibe.
Okay, so as you guys kind of move into the room, a floating goblet of wine appears, and it obviously radiates magic. The liquid itself doesn't seem magical, but the delivery method, how it arrived, was most definitely magic and powerful magic.
If the liquid's fine.
Yeah,
Good.
you can. You've tasted the wine before, or you've tasted wine not dissimilar to this before, and it doesn't seem to be anything suspicious about the actual wine itself, or anything else. Please, come. I've been wanting to meet you for some time.
He dropped a name. Have we heard that name before?
Ningauble? Probably not.
Is there a knowledge or?
Yeah, just I don't even know what knowledge this would be.
Local?
Would Knowledge Arcana let me try and identify what he is? Because he doesn't seem human.
No, he doesn't seem human. Seated, he's probably as tall as Larrett was, like maybe 6'2", 6'3", seated. So that means he's probably double that in height, maybe 10 feet tall.
Can I try and identify what he is?
You can.
Would that be, what knowledge roll would that be?
I don't even know. Pick your favorite one.
I'll pick the only one I have.
All right.
Arcana.
We're in a cave.
Oh,
right?
wow.
It's
Not
kind of-
20.
Okay, Arthur. Yeah, you're definitely in a cave. You're definitely within a cave, and there's like glowing motes of light that you've seen wizards do this before with the motes of light. Various decorations within the room seem magical. The actual now that you've walked out where the floor is, it looks now that like he is seated on one side of a giant chessboard. It's 8 across by 8 deep. He has several other chessboards beside him, and they look like they're games within various states of play. Looks like they may be games in progress. He's got that large hookah. And like if you guys have stated that you would like some refreshment, the refreshment just it appears.
Sounds great.
And Arthur, you've heard of this gentleman. He's some kind of all-powerful sorcerer. The Wizards of Quarmal. Some have spoken about trying to gather his knowledge from him. Apparently, he is about as all-knowing and as all-seeing as a wizard or sorcerer can possibly get. Apparently, he lives in some sort of cavern system on the far side of the Sinking Lands near a mountain range. But you're not as geographically inclined as a lot of your brethren were, like as far as the book learning goes. There was, as far as powerful entities on Nawan, this might be one of the most.
It is a pleasure to meet you in person, good sir.
Oh,
I am Arthur Belair.
Arthur Belair. I know that name. The name.
He's the guy with the head at his belt.
Every once in a while, my dear friend, we all have heads on our belts. But Belair, where do I know that name from? I'll refresh my memory. Is it the Sorcerers of Quarmal? Of course. Yes, I knew I could sense something of you.
They prefer the term wizard, but
Well,
I suppose I am the true sorcerer of the family.
Well, it is good to meet you, Arthur. Come, have a seat. We have much to talk about, many stories to tell. It's been quite some time since I've had some company.
I never thought I'd have the privilege of meeting someone as prolific as you, actually.
Well, every once in a while, I do like to avail myself to guests, and I was extremely relieved that the situation that you were all involved in played out the way it did. It could have gone several different ways. When you feel an interruption like the one that I felt, sometimes things are not so tidily ended, and it was good to know that you had things in hand. There is there's a cavern back from where you came from. So you could walk away from this whole situation right now, or you could join right in.
Do any of them look injured?
They do. Everybody looks injured. It looks like they just came through hell. They've got this strange residue all over their clothes. It's almost like you know how you get like the Bondfast wood glue, and you kind of let it dry, and it's kind of like caked on, but it's a light blue color, and it's all over their clothes, and they look kind of sallow and almost to the point where they've been drained by something.
Sit down. It's good to sit down and rest. We're exhausted. drink
What?
some wine.
And your name? I did not capture your name.
Oh, I'm just a Sami.
Just a
Me and my
Sami.
friends just went through something rough. We're kind of tired. It's a good thing that you're here, coincidentally, to allow us to take a load off our feet and rest.
Well, I do feel a little bad. I did bring you here. This is not on your normal path, and I do apologize for the methods with which I work sometimes, but occasionally circumstances dictate that I have a rather heavy hand when it comes to inviting people into my home.
So that conjuration was not creation, but teleportation. I see now.
Very good, very good.
And the abjuration, I assume, to prevent prying eyes?
The mist, yes, indeed. You are quite clever.
What happened to our other companion?
Laird walks his own path. He was here, not a half an hour ago. He's already gone back on his way.
Paladins.
He has a quest of his own to see to. I needed his devotion for a task that I think the rest of you would be particularly ill-suited for. So I did not want to bother you with that.
Why bring us through? What's so special about us?
Well, it seems that you hold something in your possession that is rather dangerous. No.
Okay, I'll drop my dagger. Right? I know it's what you're looking at.
I think he's looking for the head.
He does a big belly laugh, and you can see the smoke comes out of the hood. And now the
flute, isn't it? I know.
Now you see another light blink on, another light that starts floating around in the dark cowl, almost on its own. They don't seem to be like coordinated, these two lights that are floating around. And he chuckles rather loudly. So Asami, where do you hail from?
Farms outside of Lankhmar.
Aha, the lifebred of Naywan.
That's what my folks say.
And they are correct.
I just perform in a Fat Chance. I think it was called the Fat Chance, right?
The Last Chance.
The Last Chance. But Fatty was the owner.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I like the Fat Chance better.
Yeah. And in fact, that's probably in character to get the names confused. But anyway, yeah, the Last Chance time, I just performed there occasionally. Met these folks.
Well, it seems that you've all come together for a reason. And far be it from me to interfere with the fates, but once there is a convergence of such a let's say serendipitous event, I dare say that I am not ashamed that I sometimes take advantage of it. As you see, we will talk for a while, but Naywan and perhaps Lankhmar in the near future may be in need of heroes. And normally I would call on a certain someone to help me out, but he is beyond my reach right now, so I may in fact call upon you, if that is okay with you. I do not want to impose upon you at all, and at any time you can always tell me no.
We sure could use some help with our exhaustion. Yeah, we're not technically exhausted, but a better way to
Yeah.
describe our drain.
Fear not. And your name is Asami.
Okay, I thought I just said so, but okay. She'll be like, oh, yeah, short memory. Got it. Asami. Yes.
No, he says, no, Asami. Fear not. By the time you leave here, you will be refreshed and well capable of taking on any threat. So just relax, and he motions to Zed. I believe I don't know your name,
Dad, good to meet you.
Zed, and your friend there hiding behind you.
Bakai is probably indulging in her third glass of wine by this point. I doubt she'd be hiding.
Well, maybe like staying out of your sight.
Oh, good. It's my sole companion.
And what do I need to know about Zed?
I'm a practitioner of the arts with a struggled history. I don't follow any college these days. I've kind of branched out on my own. But I'm open to learning some new arts.
I see. That's interesting. I have a... I don't know how to describe her. Colleague, a chess companion. Some would say a rival, although that is... We differed in our methods somewhat. More in our mood. She might be the foremost mentor of the arcane arts on Neiwan. And this is sort of what I wanted to talk to you all about. But first I will get to know you more, too. You there, young lady, you have not met these folk before. Come in. We're all friends here. We all will be friends, and we will be friends for quite some time.
Whether you want to or not.
In emotions to Avis. Come closer.
She moves cautiously, but she seems to be more intent, like studying the not Ningauble. She's like, I don't want to mess with that. The others in the group, looking at their wounds and disheveledness with some concern.
Yeah, they look like they're quite drained. Like, you channel energy, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's the opposite that they got hit with. They got hit with a couple waves of channel negative energy. So it's Luna, Arthur, Sami are all like more than half drained, and Zed and Bakai are, well, even Bakai's a little more than half drained. I think the only reason Zed's as good as he was is because he got healed because he was in the fight.
I lead from behind.
So Asami realizes that we all look like crap and will use prestidigitation to clean yourself up.
Aha! Yes. Very good. Very good. I've not seen that one in quite some time. You all have these capabilities, this training, this talent. It interests me.
Well, the guy... Go ahead.
I hate to interrupt you, Sir Ningauble.
But, Ningauble. Some say Ningauble.
Ningauble?
Call me Ning.
Ning. Yes, sir. But the rest of you, do you mind if I touch you? It's an odd request.
Above the belt is fine.
Your hand is fine.
That's okay. All right.
By all means, that's fine.
Here's the things. Blessings. So
Aha.
let's see.
What is it? Is it 1d6 or is it 2d6?
Yeah, it's a D6.
Okay. I haven't set it up.
And
So.
I have just enough for 5 people. So
Okay.
you want me to roll them each individually or just one at a time? Just one?
Let's roll it each individually. Let's see if I can put it on your sheet for you. Special.
I wrote it in notes, so I was keeping track.
Let's see here. See if I can drag it onto your sheet like an effect.
Because it's
Is the lay
fervor,
on
but
hands?
it doesn't have a way to track it.
It's called Fervor.
Yeah, it's called fervor. It can either be damage or healing, depending on how I use it.
All right, let's see here. So what I'll do is I will create another war priest abilities,
You're a war priest.
and let's put Fervor 5.
So I'm watching what she does, trying to identify it, but I'm being totally cooperative.
I don't know if that will. Let's see here. I can probably do it this way. Yeah, feel free to just roll the dice, and you guys can take off your wounds. You can go one at a time if you want. It's just a d6, right?
Yeah, we're going to start with Arthur.
Okay, cool.
And then Sami.
So
That's
just
really
to roll the dice, you just pick the dice up and drop it into the chat screen.
I've been throwing it on the window, so
Okay, so that's why it's not working.
that's why it's not working. Okay, so there's Arthur then.
There we go. Arthur's 6 back.
And then Sami. Zed. I'm going to butcher the name.
Makai.
Bakai.
Where
This
was
is not how
Zed?
it-
Was 5?
Zed was 4, Bakai was 5, and then
Okay.
this is Luna. The other ones were better rolls. And Luna's the last one at 2.
Fervor. Okay, so let's see here. There we go. I just have to change the amounts. So
Thank
when
you
that
very much.
With each hand she touches, she just says, "May the mother heal your wounds before you get a little bit of the health back."
I smile and say Gesundheit to you too.
There we go. Excellent.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you. And Ningauble says, yes, it is for this reason that I brought you here. I wanted you all to meet. I know I have taken you from your home, and I will show you back to your home should you wish to go, but I wanted to introduce you to these, well, let's call it what it is. They're heroes. And
Well,
they walk the path of a hero, and they will need the assistance of a hero, such as yourself. So I hope you forgive me for bringing you all together, but I felt it necessary.
No, I'd just like to. Are you capable of cleansing that place we were? I'd just assume shut down that
Yes.
source of.
It's sort of what I wanted to talk to you about. I know this one here, and he points to Luna, and he says, I don't think I'll get much out of her, other than she is a wizard, and I know where she comes from. But
That's her battle cry.
it is.
He has a bunny. She pets him and calls him George.
She could probably use the tutelage of the one that I'm about to introduce you to. She awaits you in the swamp beyond the gate of the temple. She will close the temple. She will demand of you something that you should probably give freely. But I will not tell you your business. You can make your own choices. You're adults. I know I call you my gentle sons and daughters, but that is just my way. She is perhaps uniquely capable of dealing with that foul bit of knowledge that you possess. To take it back to Lankhmar is to invite disaster, to hold it for yourselves while you can, would be to further invite disaster, but to freely give it of your own volition to Shilba and have her dole out the knowledge contained within in a safe manner over a agreeable amount of time would be best for all. But, like I say, I only wanted really one thing from you. When you meet Shilba, she is rather different from me. She's not as amiable. She has a very terse and demanding demeanor. It would amuse me a great deal if you did not appear fearful to her. Beyond that, I have no other ask of you. And in exchange for this, if you would do me this boon, and I would get great amusement from it, I have gathered some things that you would perhaps be interested in. And as you guys are kind of like all milling around and stuff like that, it's like a leather rucksack that's probably about a foot and a half by a foot. It doesn't look like the most stylish or anything like that, but it floats across the room and into Asami's hands.
Cool.
And Ningauble says, Asami, I believe this might interest you, but contained within are things for your friends. You only have to think of their name when you reach inside, and something will appear in your hand.
So before I do that, I want to ask for clarification. Did you say appear? You do not wish us to appear faithful to her?
Fearful.
Or fearful to? Okay, fearful. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. So I open the bag and look around to the companions, and you were going to say something before I do?
I fear no man. It will not be difficult.
Excellent, then. This should be most
There's a guy with a decapitated head at his belt. Yeah, okay.
This should be most amusing, then.
We all know what's going to happen here, so I'm going to start with Luna, because I think that would be fun. So I look at Luna, open up the bag, stick my hand in, and go, Luna! And I pull out a wizard. Is that right?
You pull out... where is it here? You pull out a... It's kind of a ratty pearl bracelet. The pearls are tiny. It looks as though it's kind of not tarnished, because pearls tarnish. The luster's off the pearl. They look kind of dull, and there's about 12 or 13 of them on a small bracelet. But there's two other ones that look like, they almost look like stone. They're kind of ugly. But that appears in your hand.
So Asami says, I've heard Fatty talk about different ways of earning a pearl necklace. I don't think this is that kind of pearl necklace, but I think this is suited for you. Luna, and I hand it to her.
All right. And I will put
That is
that.
Asami's best attempt at comedy. That is my best attempt to impersonate Asami at comedy. She's far better at it than I am. So
That's a good one. So this is a bracelet of pearls. I put it on your sheet, Naz. This seemingly normal. Let's see here. So basically, it's Pearl of Power, 2 first level pearls of power.
Yeah, buddy.
So you get 2 extra first level spells every day.
Love it.
And of course, Asami is it's a handy haversack.
oh, that's awesome. But I think there's more to go. So
Yes,
I'm
there
gonna
is.
Reach back in and go Zed. And he looks at Zed and pulls something out of the bag.
You can feel something long,
Bag of Cheetos.
something long and leather. It's almost it's probably about a foot or so in length. And you pull it out, and it's a scabbard, and you automatically sense that it is for Bakai, actually. So I'll put it on Bakai's sheet, and it is a scabbard of vigorous drawing. So basically, it is a leather scabbard, looks plain and well used. It's the size of a dagger. But it stores any size blade within it. Upon drawing the blade, the blade instantly returns to its normal size. And once per day, as part of the action of drawing forth the weapon held by the scabbard of vigor, the wearer can order it to endow the weapon with an enhancement bonus on attack and damage rolls. And the duration of the effect depends on the desired enhancement. So you can go +4 for 1 round, +3 for 3 rounds, +2 for 5 rounds, or +1 for 10 rounds. And I will put that on Bakai's sheet.
So I guess you'll realize this for Bakai. Hand it to her. Say, be careful who you poke with this.
Kai downs another thing of wine. Yeah, thanks.
And now I'll say, no, I really meant Zed this time. And say Zed.
That was it. That was for Zed.
Oh, okay. Zed and Bakai count as the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then Arthur, let's see what's in here for you. I don't know how I can pull a shadow out of a bag, but let's see what happens. Arthur,
you get a rolled up piece of paper on both sides. It looks like
And he smacks you with it.
looks like the pages contain the runes of spells. This is a page of spell knowledge, front and back. This page is covered with densely worded magical runes. It contains the knowledge of a single spell on the front of the page and a single spell on the back of the page. If the bearer is a spontaneous caster, she may use her spell slots to cast a spell as if it were one of her own spells known. So basically 2 extra spells known for Arthur.
Nice.
So I'll put that on your sheet for you. And I picked out Magic Missile and Cure Light Wounds. I
was thinking of picking out Magic Missile later on.
All right. I thought you might like that.
now you can attack the darkness. Magic missile.
And heal the darkness.
Yeah.
Now, whenever anything is immune to my fear, I could at least be the heal bot.
So Asami looks at Avis and tries to remember if Avis introduced us. Your name,
Nope.
did you? So I'm looking at you going,
Healer.
you.
And you feel something. It's almost like a necklace of like a shale kind of stone. And
So I don't know you, so I'm not going to make a joke. But I think this belongs to you, and I think it'll help you. We appreciate you healing us in our group. We went through a tough time, and you were willing to heal us through it. So here is something for you.
So it is a +1 torque of protection. So basically a ring of protection, but a torque that you wear around your neck.
Oh yes, because I need more AC.
And I fully expect to get nothing.
if you don't want it, I'll take the AC.
Because I have the bag, but I'm going.
I'm a wizard. I'm a tank wizard.
Every treasure hunter looks for treasure, so this is perfectly in character, though I expect to have nothing. I will reach in the bag and go, Asami.
And it is in your hands.
The bag is in my hand.
Yes.
That's exactly perfect.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Arthur's gonna go
I
ahead
will
and
look
test
in the
out.
small pouches because I think a handy haversack has the 3 pouches, the main and 2 smalls. Just maybe something got left there. I don't know.
Yeah, you look through. I haven't thought of anything, but if we need something on the way home, there's a decent chance it might be in there.
A McDonald's Big Mac. All right.
Exactly. Well, at least a coupon for it.
With chicken nuggets. Woohoo. Alrighty. Well, I appreciate it. I look very thankful. Yeah. I love this bag. I'm going to call it my Mary Poppins bag.
Yeah, Arthur's gonna go ahead and test out that new spell he acquired. Let's see if he can cure some of those wounds on himself.
Yes, you can.
I didn't see the roll. What was it? It was 11.
It's an 11.
As those wounds subside, this will be most useful.
I did get everybody right, and I didn't leave anyone out.
No, that was everybody. I'm pretty sure. I couldn't in good conscience give one to Zed and Bakai.
No.
Oh, I totally. It's well, it would totally be in Asami's character to try. So yeah.
That just means that Zed's gonna get a different magic item at a different time.
Telling you, a bag of Cheetos.
And Ningauble says that if you are looking for a magical mentor, Shilba is peerless, but she has even more esoteric demands than myself. Whereas I might get pleasure out of watching you stand fearlessly before her. She might get you to collect 9 white cats without a black hair among them and bring them to her. Strange things like that. So I do not know if that's the price you want to pay for knowledge, but you will meet her upon exiting the cavern, and she and I have already discussed about the closing of that place. There is another source of the aether within Lankhmar, and I cannot take it away so easily as Shilba will be able to close this one down. But with your good work and her talents, that place where you were will no longer trouble the people of the city.
All right.
The depths of this infection run even deeper than you could even know. I tried to reason with that man. He told me his name was Veltargo, but I believe it might have even been something else. He was walking in the Dreamlands, searching for something extremely dangerous. It was in Nawan's best interest that you arrived when you did, which brought you to my attention.
Good sir, I would certainly say that he found something dangerous. I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the head. That thing would be us.
Yes, well, it's rather grisly. Arthur?
You must dirty your hands sometimes in order to prove a point. A little bit of fear will cause those priests to potentially think again, or at the very least, have a bad night sleeping.
You do not wish to form that into some sort of arcane totem, do you? I can't say.
I'm not interested in those kinds of macabre things.
That's good to know.
I'm no necromancer. I prefer to use the term illusionist. Sometimes enchanter, but mostly illusions.
Perhaps you should study this image and then leave the head with me, so you can recreate it at your leisure without the mess. And
well, after all of the gifts you have given us, I cannot say no to this request.
Well, I appreciate it.
I just think in my head, okay, he gave us nice magic things, and you give him a bleeding, decapitated. All right, we're good. We're good. It's all good.
Trade.
I'm wondering about this character here. We lost the Gray Paladin, and this guy stays.
And now that you've kind of noticed and you're sort of gone through all the magic items and there's 4 globes glowing in his cowl now. Kind of just lazily sort of hovering around. No matter what you do, you try to get like a little glimpse in with angles and stuff like that, but you can't penetrate the darkness.
I know. Once they start flying out of the head, or cowl, I know. Yeah.
With the 28 I got earlier, do I know the purpose of these glowing? Are these eyes?
You've heard this creature referred to as Ningauble of the 7 Eyes.
Ah.
And you with that roll, because you shot a 20, you know that sometimes he has a companion or a rival, pretty much the only one on Naywan that could rival him in the sorceress arts is known as Shilba of the Eyeless Face. And Shilba of the Eyeless Face is known to dwell within the Great Salt Marsh, where you guys just came from.
That's the one with the moving hut, right?
Correct.
Sounds good.
Okay, so right now, Ningauble's interested in stories and that kind of stuff. So he'll sit and listen to you talk about whatever, if there's any talk.
Oh, if he wants to know how we did it, Sami's definitely going to share that story and embellish the hell out of it.
Cool. And he listens with great delight. And you see another globe appears at some point. And basically, by the time you're done, you see six glowing orbs in his hood. But Arthur knows that sometimes he's known as Ningauble of the 7 Eyes.
And she makes it as suspenseful as possible, but obviously everyone knows everyone survived because we're all standing here. And giving credit to where credit's due to every person in the party except herself. And sorry, not Luke, because you weren't there.
Once you get to the end of the story, she just kind of is just like in wonder and says, Avis Evenpeak.
Ah, a name. A name to a face. Do you,
How'd you say it? Avis? Was that the character's name?
Avis.
Okay.
Yes.
If you were there, it would have gone even smoother, I'm sure.
Avis Evenpeak, do you desire to see the wonder and the filth that is the city of Lankhmar? For that is the path that these ones walk.
I assure you, there is much of both. Plenty of both.
Having never been to the city, I'm sure there is much I could do there.
You see?
Hmm.
Sometimes...
And I can't help but notice, good madam, that you have a surname. That seems to be surprisingly uncommon in these lands.
Is it?
Not from where you come from.
Yeah, she's like, is it? Not, I mean, everyone has one where I'm from.
Mentioning mine only got me bewildered looks in this type of place. I see you come from the better parts of the world.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen all the world.
A fair answer, I suppose.
Well, come
Cornwall is where I hail.
See more of it with us.
Whether or not I would describe Cornwall as better is up to my mood. But I will not bore you with the details.
I'm sure our gracious host would like more stories.
Yes, always.
talk about the vampires because we'd love to be able to track that lady down.
Ah, yes. I've stricken her. I've stricken her from my memory. She was so irrelevant. What was her name again?
I don't remember.
Yeah, neither do I. Scary vampire lady. I'm pretty
That
sure.
was
Hold
my
on.
excuse for not remembering her name, by the way.
Let me look up the notes real quick.
Don't remember.
Maybe
What's her name?
Zombie would want to tell the story of how Giant Luna killed those creatures at the stage.
Ah, yes, the frog creatures.
Ones that burst out of the performer on stage, and yeah.
yes, there's
Someone
been
gave birth to frogs.
there's been numerous
Burst out of his chest like some form of creature. I do not know how to properly describe it.
We were asked to go watch her play and collect information, and when we did,
Miria.
yeah, that was the vampire lady. That's right.
Yeah.
Ah, Maria, her. Yes, her.
The lead actor slumped over, and creatures burst from his chest right there. And of course, the crowd panicked, but we, being the heroes that we are, jumped into action, and Luna here became Giant Luna and started beating everything up, and then we were basically playing crowd control, and then assisted and solved, killed the monsters and all that stuff.
Yes, Giant Luna is very common in our fights.
Sounds more like parasitic than birth.
Well, I don't recall what the creature types were, but yeah, it was definitely nasty.
Whatever it was, it is gone now. Stomped on and destroyed.
creatures beyond the realm, beyond the plane, beyond the veil. I think it may have something to do with this substance and what this. I don't believe this priest brought it about, but I believe he was seeking something, seeking to open a doorway. Temporarily, Arthur, when you read those words and brought that creature forth, those realms sometimes seek to seep into our world, and it is the duty of myself to see that those incursions are minimal.
And I apologize for that, good sir.
No,
It wasn't exactly my brightest moments, having to admit defeat like that by using such a powerful item. Though I
No.
will admit, after all that was said and done, you may not have gotten this from my personality, but I quite enjoy fear in many aspects, even receiving it. The pounding of one's heart is exhilarating, actually.
So I hear. But I'm glad it brought you all to my attention. And I'm glad that there's a responsibility among you. Which, of course, I'm not used to when I'm dealing with heroes. So it is of interest of me to maintain a relationship. You will hear from me in the future.
In a relationship we would also like to maintain. It is not every day you can maintain or even begin a relationship with a good gentleman such as yourself.
I appreciate the flattery, but
Oh, it is not mere flattery, it is mere fact. I have heard quite a lot about you.
you
Coming from a family of wizards, it's hard not to. I know that you're one of, if not the most powerful sorcerers in the land. And as a novice myself, I can only hold so much esteem and reverence towards you. You are the kind of person I aspire to be.
You might also find me a pain. And assistance, but also a pain. I may ask of you things that take you beyond roads that you don't wish to travel, but we'll leave that for another day. As you may or may not know, where you are right now, the elements of time have no real bearing on This, you have been here for several days of your time, but yet in the cavern where you will emerge, no time has passed at all. So it's good to see that you're all refreshed and feeling better. I have, and just as he says that, one of the eye stalks, or one of the, I shouldn't have said that, one of the eye globes kind of just shifts to the left a little bit, and one of the pieces on the chessboards moves of its own volition, and it is the rook, the white rook, and it moves up beside the white knight, and they kind of move together. And he says, I have other matters to attend to, so if you follow that passage to the left, it will take you back to where you need to go. It has been my pleasure.
It has been our pleasure as well, good sir. Please do not let us take up any more of your time. We need to.
Gentle sons and daughters, walk in the light and listen to your hearts. It will lead you places that you know you need to go.
Avis gives a little nod of her head and heads in that direction.
Okay, so there's it before that looked like there was several entrances and exits and stuff like that, but now there looks like there's only one path to go. And if you wish to leave, that is the way that you must go.
Okay, thank you.
Arthur will bid farewell and head on over.
Okay, the same sort of mist-filled hallways, kind of mazy, labyrinthine tunnels and passages, but you instinctively know now. Okay, it's to the left. You're not sure how you know, but you know.
Big sign right there.
Pretty much, yeah, big exit signs. And you emerge at the stairway leading up to the pool on the first level, where where Luna bravely fought the amorphous creature, and the secret door was. So you've got the open secret door, the pool itself, and then the exit.
All right, let's get out of here.
So as you exit the tunnel, and you're kind of like taking all this in, Avis, it's it looks like some kind of like some manner of foul temple. Then there's a strange liquid that's everywhere. It's almost like an ooze, but it's not quite. It's got sort of medicinal drug kind of qualities to it. Almost like it's kind of like a heavy alcohol scent, but it's thick and viscous, almost like a slime. But it's the color of bright light blue. It almost emanates an illumination, a glow, if you will. And where you emerge from these misty pathways, kind of, you get that lurching feeling that you felt before, and you come back where the mist is gone, and it's everything seems less ephemeral and more tangible.
Yeah, can we recognize that lurch as us being moved through teleportation?
Yeah.
Mm.
And you've Arthur, you've heard tales of Ningauble's caves as various passageways and doorways to other realms, other places, other dimensions, other times, and that he's kind of the gatekeeper of the in and out of Naywan. In the stories, whether there's any truth to that, whether he has that kind of power, you don't know. But you've just kind of been witness to some of it.
It's safer not to doubt him.
So as you emerge from the temple, up the
Is there
set.
something supposed to be on the map? Because all I have is a black screen.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have the. Okay. So
Yeah,
let
I
me.
don't think our tokens are here.
It's all black to us. I think
Okay.
our tokens. There we go.
There we go. I didn't have the line of sight turned off. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's the upper level of the temple. So as you guys come outside, and you go through that stone lintel, it's still daytime. Still
Watch for ambushes.
okay. You guys are on red alert. You guys right now. I am going to give you 3 long overnight rests, which was the equivalent of your stay in Gobble's Cave, in which case you could have just healed yourselves up as you went.
Yeah. I assume we do.
So let's
I
get
would've used-
everybody's healing back up, and
Yeah.
if you want to select
I've
some new spells for today, you can, even though you didn't study them. You didn't spend any time in the cave studying or anything like that. You can still select new spells for today. You get the impression that you guys maybe spent more time there than you thought you spent, and then maybe you slept and rested, but it's kind of like a hazy sort of dreamlike state that you walked out of. You're like, did that really happen? But you still have the items that Ningauble gave you for your services, and refreshed and alert, you come up, make your way out of the cave, and when you do, you see let's see here, a site in the swamp, probably right by your boat, out into the water, about an extra 10 feet. The water's a little deeper. It is a hut that's about 20 feet tall and about 20 feet wide, and there is almost like a leather sort of curtain across the front of it. It almost looks like it was crafted of animal skins. The hut itself and the let's see here.
We don't remember this hut being here last time.
No, this is definitely new.
This would be Sheba, right?
Shilba, yeah.
Shilba.
This would be Shilba of the. My typing's terrible. Eyeless Face. These are 2 characters that appear in quite a few of Libra's stories.
Yep.
The hero in the story, Fafford, is based on the author, and the kind of the anti-hero of the story, Grey Mouser, is based on his friend, Harry Otto Fisher, and Shilba and Ningauble are based on their I think Shilba's based on Harry Otto Fisher's wife, and Ningauble was based off of I think one of Lieber's uncles, if I remember reading that correctly.
It gives off uncle vibes. That makes sense.
Yeah, he calls himself Benevolent Uncle quite a bit. So, at the doorway of this hut, in the distance, you've got about 100 yards to the shoreline. As was before, nothing's changed like that. But the hut is you can kind of now make out that there's stilts on the hut, and they seem to be moving below the water of their own volition to kind of keep the hut stabilized. And the leather doorway is pulled to the side, and a shorter figure, probably about the same height as Bukai, in voluminous yet somewhat ragged robes, cover the hands, hood up over the face, and just an inky blackness within the cowl. Not dissimilar to Ningauble's inky blackness in the cowl, but there are no lights in the cowl. And you can hear like a booming voice. Come closer. It doesn't sound female at all, but Ningauble referred to this creature as female numerous times.
Yeah, we were expecting you.
Come closer, I will speak with you.
At once, good madam. As Arthur will just approach. We'll stride on over.
We'll follow Arthur.
Bringing up the rear.
You have something in your possession that I would ask of you. Were it not for that fat buffoon, you would not hold it in your hands. But I ask you, give it freely. It is for the best. You know of which I speak.
I'd like to think we had something to do with its retrieval.
Absolutely. Which is why I'm asking politely.
You heard the good madam.
I think you have the book.
Buckeye has it, yeah. Buckeye looks around.
I think Arthur has the book, no?
No, Arthur's wimpy little arms can't carry that book.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Pardon me.
My light carry weight is 23 pounds.
I see.
I can't carry that book.
That's a 12-pounder. You're no good with that book. Okay. Does
My
Buckeye...
feeble 7 strength, yeah.
She grabs it from the back of the pack, wipes off the orange Cheeto dust, says, here. Hands it one-handed to him.
Okay, so you hold it out. And Arthur, when you remember you tried to mage hand it and maneuver it, and you were unable to, the book floats from Buckai's hand over to Shilba. She hasn't introduced herself. She hasn't given her name. And she takes it. And she says, that was wise. That was wise. Perhaps in the future, I could assist you in your endeavors. But I do not suffer fools, and I do not suffer over many questions. You have but one to ask each, and I will answer you honestly. But beyond that, I will not. Ask your
Arthur
question.
Arthur looks at the rest of the party. And what would you like to ask? I'll ask last.
I don't know.
No takers. Very well.
Where can we find Mira the vampire? We'd like to settle some business with her.
There is a creature from beyond the grave who frequents the riverfront now. Perhaps you should seek her out there.
Got my question.
What else would you know? I have not all the time in the world.
I suppose I'll use my question on a very simple one. What is it you exactly need of us after this is all said and done, that is?
Well, you wish to learn, do you not?
Well, yes, I do. And what exactly do you need of us to gain this knowledge?
I will tell you, and it is up to you whether you will do or not do. I cannot force you to do things. I will not lay a gesh on you. But know you this. If I ask you to do something, it is for great importance. It is not some foolish task like some fat, pot-bellied lazabout. Do we understand one another, Arthur? And you didn't give her your name.
Quite clearly,
Nice
Shilda.
how Arthur get called out. That's funny.
Good. And what of you, Silent Elf? What would you know? You have great curiosity, but you do not speak it.
In this world, like wizards really aren't a thing, right? So obtaining magic is difficult, right?
Yeah, definitely. Obtaining new spells is unusual. You've
Yeah.
got
So
you've got a spell book in your possession now. It's like a prayer book, but a lot of it's more like dark rituals and stuff like that. You could probably learn. So, but as for actual arcane training and stuff like that, she might be the where to go. That isn't the Sorcerer's
my
Guild.
question. That's my question. Who should I seek out nearby that can help me become a more skilled wizard?
I will watch, and when you are ready, I will dole out these secrets to you.
Well, sure.
If you do not like this, you can seek a deal somewhere else. I may ask of you that which you do not want to do. But there is a price for everything, a heavy price for this knowledge.
Done.
You will see me again. And you, sir, what would you know? Or you, madam, or you of the mountains.
Three of us have asked, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that leaves two left.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't expect Avis to have like a.
Yeah, looking at the party going, I wonder if there's a good question I should ask statement.
Yeah, there you go.
No, wait.
I must be off.
That, I guess my question here would be that I pull out the flute and said, care for a song.
I do not care for music.
Good. That makes it easy, I guess.
A haiku?
All sorts of dalliances. Yeah, waste
about
of
a
my
Dane-
time,
So
which is what you're doing right now.
a limerick is out of the question there. All right.
Be well.
Thank you. Be well.
Farewell,
suppose we
madam.
And she turns and says, "Know you this? The knowledge contained within this book it would have destroyed you."
What does the key do? Have we figured that out?
Okay. You can
We
ask
gave her
that.
the book. Hush.
We gave okay.
The keys are
Ma'am?
stuff request.
Yes.
I've heard that she's walking the four earth. Will I cross her path?
You will. I've seen it. Perhaps that is why the fat one brought you here.
Farewell.
Well, it's if that vampire is on the shores nearby, let's seek that out. Solve that issue. Oh.
Well, we need to figure a way to take that vampire out and find her home. Otherwise, she's just going to mist away again.
So you're at the shore. There's the boat. You get into the boat as Sheba's hut makes its way out of the river and across the hulk of land. And now you can see that
How sturdy is the boat?
the boat's pretty sturdy. It's like a 6 or 8 person rowboat.
Rock.
Yeah, heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the actual weight on it?
hers is 175.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine. So as Shield's hut makes its way out of the swamp water, you can see that it's there's like five wooden legs that almost look like a bird's legs, almost like a chicken's legs, and they're moving in kind of like different directions, but it's propelling the hut in one direction. It's really odd to see, and she's of course disappeared within the hut itself. You get an impression that when she went back inside and she pulled the leather aside and went in, that it was almost like a grand palace with inside. Like you got a glimpse of depth and dimension that you didn't expect to see, and boom, and it was gone, and then it started moving and it was out, and it's crossed the swamp and it's into the mist, and Shilba is gone. So now you have to get home. So you've got the boat, and
We've done this path enough. We'll head back.
All right.
What are we heading back to do? Because we were told to get the book, but we don't have the book.
No, you weren't actually. The book was you were originally contracted to retrieve the key for the price of 200 gold rilks. From the locksmith. Yeah, from the locksmith Jan Pickett.
So I guess we don't need to reveal the information the book went poof. Which is, here's your key.
Well, Nin told us to give the book to her so she could cleanse the place. It was payment to make sure that this place didn't get worse.
I'm just saying, I don't remember a book, if anybody asks.
Also, you see the skeleton key, it can unlock anything. Is that what it was described as?
That's what it was described as. Do you want to spend some time and examine it? Now that you've kind of gone through a bunch of stuff, and it's just sort of got put by the wayside.
Yeah, let's go ahead and examine that skeleton. It's a separate key from the fingerbone key, or is it the same key?
It's the key. That's the key. Yeah, the fingerbone.
It's the same key. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll examine it.
Okay, so you examine it. You can tell that it has a pretty great power, but you think that the contact with the Book of Eibon may have kind of drained it, not permanently, but for some time. It probably could have opened any door or any chest or any even the Book of Eibon, but the way it was laying in contact with the book, it was keeping the book open, and its powers have gone dormant. If you make a spellcraft check and you beat a 25, I'll tell you for roughly what period.
Difficult but possible.
Difficult but possible, yeah. Like you can definitely identify the magic, and it's definitely a
nope, not quite.
Yeah, it's definitely identifiable. Does anybody have the identify spell?
No.
Wizard?
That would give you plus 10 to that roll if you cast it on it.
But can't you spend a bit of time with detect magic or no?
You can. You definitely can.
Spellcraft can help identify items. I think you probably have to roll really high, but
yeah, you do. That was the high that you had to roll for. Like you know that it's cast a knock spell, and it's level 20. Level 20 knock spell.
Is there more to learn?
Yeah,
I haven't made a roll yet. So.
Yeah, what to learn is exactly how long it'd be dormant for. That information might fuel whether you actually return this key or not. Yeah, you think it'd probably be dormant for the period of about a year. That's all.
So does
No,
it have like X amount of uses per year? One
No.
use per year?
Nope.
Or okay, but still dormant for a year.
Yeah.
I'll share what I think based on my examination and contribution to this.
So whether it's worth your while to hang on to that as opposed to 200 gold rilks, it's up to you.
Speaking of gold rilks, do you think it's time to split those parcel coins? Because we got a lot of them in the party sheet.
Let's get you back to town first.
Okay.
we may not make it.
Let me.
Watching for
All right.
summon critters and cultists. We should have probably brought a keg of that stuff just as bribery in case we're ambushed.
I no longer have a head for intimidation, but I'll make do without.
All
No,
right.
you got a magic missile.
Yes.
All right.
Did-
So if
did-
you check,
Did you trade the head? Is that what happened? Did I miss that?
yeah, you did.
Okay.
He simply requested the head, so I gave it to him.
This old thing?
I would have loved to use it to inspire fear, but he's been such a generous host that I should probably give it to him.
You always find more heads.
Suppose.
Let me not get ahead of myself.
So where were we headed exactly?
I'm assuming home.
Heading back to
That's a very
Lankhmar?
long walk from here.
But we're hitting some headwinds.
Let me see here. I don't know why this isn't popping up.
You want to keep a lookout for those flying turd monsters or whatever the hell they were that we attacked us before.
Yes.
Them and cultists, yeah.
For some reason, my encounter's not popping up here. Let's see here.
All's clear.
There we go. All right, well, I'm going to build one right now. Here we go. All right, so as you guys are making your way along the river, now that you've had a touch with the arcane and perhaps the divine, everything seems fairly normal. Kind of grounding to get back to the smell of the swamp and the coolness of the air. You're not far from dry land and the Kazi Road. But across the river now, there are long, ropey webs in several areas. And you can see 3 rather large salt spiders making their way towards you. And I think I shared that. And a salt spider. A salt spider is about the size of a pig, and it's a great black hairy beast with 8 legs, but instead of normal spider legs, it ends each foot or leg ends in almost like a lily pad of some sort, and it enables the creature to walk on the surface of the water. And I've got a picture here for you.
And as vermin, they don't feel fear, do they?
You don't believe they do?
I know my abilities aren't exactly the best on vermin or on intelligent creatures.
And you seem to have attracted their attention.
Is it time to roll initiative?
Why don't we try and go starboard and hit that land real quick, so at least we have some flat footing.
Absolutely, you can. I will move you there, and it's a simple matter to get to ground.
Then let's get to ground.
All right. What I'll do is I'll get rid of that. I'll move that boat mini out of the way so it doesn't bother our fight. But it's right there.
Yep.
Okay, feel free to roll initiative. You've disembarked. The spiders have moved. We're all set for round 1. The initiative, I believe, is on the very front page. Avis, if you just double click initiative, it should put you in the tracker.
Oh, double click. I never thought to do that.
There we go.
Yeah, I dragged the thing.
I'll just drag it over.
So much work.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So Bakai is the first to act.
Wow. Kai unstrings her bow. And why can't I target her? There we go. Unstrings her bow. Or strings her bow.
Let me actually put the spiders in squares.
And
There we go.
takes a shot at one. Oh, why'd it roll twice?
Did you have... I don't know. Oh, you shot at yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, both of them missed, so either way.
All right.
That's Bakai.
All right. So spider number 2, I believe, is... moving towards Avis, but hasn't quite got to the land yet. It doesn't move as fast as it would on dry land. So that was a double move for it to walk on water. And another spider dips down below or through its webs and seems to be approaching. Zed.
All right, I tag Kai with a what do you call it? Mage armor.
Mage armor?
Yep, drag that on. And then I go into my leadership position somewhere over here. And that's it for me.
All right. Luna.
The mute wizard.
Silent death.
Wizard things.
Silent death.
Luna, we lose you?
Luna's muted.
I think it's a long spear attack. It's a hit.
I was muted. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
You were letting us know you're a wizard, and then you're poking it with a stick. Got it.
Yeah. And, long spear.
That is a hit.
Boom. Eat it.
Boom. Yes. And it does indeed eat it. Gout of blood erupts from the insectile creature. Asami.
She moves into the middle of the group and then recites the poem she once heard about the itsy bitsy spider and how the rain washed it out, like we're going to do with these guys. There, you're inspired. So that's a standard action to start that, and I moved, so I'm done.
All right. Arthur.
That's a good question. I was thinking if I was thinking about whether or not I should use body shifts because I have a ton of those, but I could finish off that spider. No, actually, I think Avis can take care of that spider. Let's see how powerful she really is. I'm gonna go ahead and use. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and use body shift onto myself so I can put a little bit of a blur on me.
Okay.
Effect. There we go. And I will maintain my position for now.
Okay, Avis. Onto dry land, and a creature's approached you. The elven spear maiden has thrust its spear into the creature.
Is there something I need to click to target it?
Yes.
Shift click them, or control click rather.
Is it if you hit you click on your own mini first, and then you
Yeah,
hit control click onto the creature you want to target.
Do it once more. There you go. You'll see in the combat tracker you're currently targeting them.
Okay, so the combat tracker, which is over on the right hand side, you'll see a pair of crossed swords. If you click on that, it'll open up, and you'll see everything that's going on within.
Fantasy Grounds, you're gonna have a lot of tabs open, so it's gonna happen.
So now, if you just double click on your attack, it will attack the spider. So on the actions tab, do you see where it says heavy mace? You'll see a number of attacks. You'll see a
No, all I
dice.
see is my spells at the moment. Hold on.
Okay, if you scroll back up
There
to
it
the
is.
top, yeah. So if you double click on, there we go. Look at that. You get it out before I even do. Oh,
No, not
Oh,
really,
your
though.
first natural one.
Actually, the
congratulations.
second one because I rolled it on initiative too.
Your first attack of the campaign.
Welcome to
Yeah.
the team.
This is the one that counts. So
And now you must die.
So on the very bottom of the combat tracker, if you press next actor, it'll jump ahead to the next round.
Yeah, the bottom left. There you
All
go.
right, excellent. Bakai.
Bakai. You know what? She's gonna walk over, hand me the bow, walk over, and take one swing at this guy. Oops. Let me make sure I target him. Here we go.
That's a hit.
And after she stabs it, she squishes it with her shoe, which is a nice loafer. It's, conservative yet amply able for the swamp. Done.
And that creature is now dead. As spider number 3, I think, is trying to close. As it skates upon the top of the water. Zed.
You know what? I'm leading very effectively, so I'm good.
All right, spider. This guy here's emerges out beneath the web. Luna. To the edge of the water.
Then I'm going to have a ready to action to attack it. But then I have reach, so I'll get an attack opportunity hopefully as well.
Okay, cool. Asami.
I'll move beside Luna with the rapier drawn, and if it comes within a square that I can attack it, I'll ready an action to do so.
Alrighty.
Remember the lingering performance. Everyone still has their inspired courage from, my stupid story.
Yeah, we should still have 2 more rounds. This round and another round.
Yes.
Arthur.
All right. Give me a second. A little too far away. Let's move on in so I can actually get within range of this creature. I got a few questions
Okay.
that I'd like to ask. Judging by the fact this thing's its feet are kind of like lily pads, does it seem like it could swim if it actually sunk?
Probably not.
Another question. Can you put grease on top of water?
Yes, you can.
Interesting.
You don't think it'll fall through, like fall down, be prone, but you think it would impede its movement.
Okay. It's probably too big of an ask to hope that it falls
And then
sink to
drowns.
the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
If
Oh, well.
if it did, its legs would just kind of like spill out, and it would like lay on its belly, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You don't think it would
that-
like sink down?
In that case, I will instead try and blind this creature so that our allies can have a better chance of hitting it
Okay.
with a good old-fashioned blinding ray.
Blinding ray.
That's a nat
Bar-
one. Yeah.
oh.
It's not a nat one. That's a 7. That is a miss, unfortunately.
Is it a
It's
touch
flying.
attack or is it a?
That is a touch attack.
Okay, let me see if it's. We got it coded. Yeah, we do have it coded for touch, and touch is yes. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
So just
aimed
misses.
aimed a little too high. That's unfortunate. That'll be my turn for now.
Avis,
Move.
even peak.
That. Like that.
What is your movement? Is it 20 or 30?
It's 20.
It's 20. So that looks like it was
Yeah.
probably a double movement.
Was it a double move?
5,
I can move
15,
back one.
20. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That's still within 30 feet of me. Okay, perfect.
All right.
Quick character question. What exactly are you? You're a war priest. But what what race are you? You're a small race, aren't you?
No, medium.
No, medium.
Oh.
She's probably about the same size as like you've met a couple characters in Lankhmar that were a little shorter and stockier. I don't know if Avis has the same dimensions, but she has roughly the same height. She's just over 4 feet.
Yeah, just over 4 feet.
Just over 4 feet. And her now that you see her out in the daylight, her skin kind of has like almost like a stony sort of appearance, even though it's probably flesh.
Is that good enough to identify, or
No, it's not.
then
Yeah,
she's
so-
a companion, and that's enough for me?
So if I click on the spell in the list, it'll cast it.
Yeah. Are you gonna cast it on a creature or cast it on your
On the spider.
on the spider? Okay, so if you
Yeah.
drag the cast button right onto the spider, it should do
Drag the
everything.
spell onto the spider.
Yeah, drag the cast. Should be a cast button, which is how do I describe that to you?
Yeah.
I found it.
Okay.
She is targeting it, so it should work.
Oh, okay. If you're still targeting, if you if you double click the cast button, it will also work.
Nope.
Okay.
Mhm.
So let's see.
No,
here.
it likes to throw it a lot.
All
You
right.
cast it 4 times, I think.
I did.
All right. Maybe let me see if I can drag it on. The drag looked like it worked. Okay. So it was a touch attack. It was a hit. Oh, I probably dragged the wrong thing. What were you trying to drag on there?
Mighty Fist of the Earth.
Okay, hang on. Let me drag that on. Okay, so the attack roll isn't set up. Let's see here.
I don't know.
Just roll a d20.
Yeah, just roll a d20.
We'll figure it out later. We'll
Yeah.
fix it.
Is it a touch
A
attack?
It is. I gotta reopen it.
What's your modifier? +6?
I gotta read if it was a touch or not.
Let's see here. Standard action, one creature. You create a fist-sized rock that flies towards. Make an unarmed strike roll. It's for your threatened area. Okay, so it's your base attack plus your
Just my
strength.
casting. Or
Yeah.
is it cat?
I think it's your strength because we're using an unarmed strength. Unarmed.
So it's a 15 to hit.
So it's a 15 to hit, which I believe is a hit. Yes, it's a hit.
And yet it tells me nothing on damage. That's great.
So let's see here. Where do we get this spell from here? 4th level. And your... Oh, okay. So the rock deals bludgeoning damage to the target as if you'd hit the target with your unarmed strike. So I think that is let's just
Unarmed
say
strikes it's D3 for medium.
yeah, I'd say it's a D3 plus your strength. So D3 plus 3. So that's
I
the one
type
that's
roll slash D3 plus 3. Will it roll it?
I'm not sure. In the modifier button down at the bottom, if you hit the number 3, did it work? Look at that.
Yes, it did.
All right, awesome. What did you hit? Slash roll and then hit that?
I did. I typed slash roll and then I typed out what I wanted.
Look at that. You even know shit that I don't know. That's awesome. So that hits. And what I will do is I will drag that onto the creature.
Looks like it just like her fist came off of herself and flew across and hit it, but her hand is still there.
That looks like an anime I've seen somewhere.
Entirely
Are you
possible.
in Mecha? That's what race you are. That's why I failed my knowledge engineering check.
All right, awesome. So this stony fist kind of flies out into the spider. And Bakai.
Guy goes over here and readies an action. If that critter, what's his name, the top right one, comes within reach, she'll swing at it.
Okay.
That's it.
Zed?
I'm doing an excellent job leading. I'll come forward a little bit, lead some more.
All right. And spider. Let's see here. Luna, attack of opportunity. It is a miss. It closes. And then your readied actions. That's a hit. And Asami as well. Readied action. The blades drive into the creature. And kill it.
Damn, that almost looked like she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
She's gonna bluff like a ha ho hum. I do that all the time.
All right. Luna, you're back on this action. Do you have long distance dealing of death?
No.
Asami.
Hopefully magic missile's medium.
No, magic missile is 100 feet plus 10 per level.
Yeah, it's medium.
Yeah.
Long is 400 plus 40.
Yeah, that's right.
I finally have something beyond short range.
Yeah, so like I have no idea what to do. It's gonna be extremely weak, but I really don't have much else for range, so I will. Switching weapons will take forever, so you guys got this. I'll be ready if it comes and joins us. Move forward and ready in action in case it comes to a square which I can attack.
All right. Arthur.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stride on over. Hold on. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. I'm going to stride on over here and ready myself another blinding ray for whenever it gets within 30 feet of me.
Okay. So the creature sees that you guys ably dealt with its two other brethren, and it retreats. So unless you want to kill it from a distance, we can call it a night, and you get experience points for defeating the creature, whether you drove it off or whether you killed it. So well done. Good game tonight, guys.
Yeah. We get any experience for dealing with the wizards, like 1100?
You get
Probably
some.
enough to hit 6th level.
6th level.
6th
Yeah.
level. Wow.
How'd you jump ahead?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it just happens.
1021, right? 2021.
Yeah, you're right. 1021.
What happened to my character sheet? Where'd it go?
I don't know.
There it is. There it is.
Nope, I don't know.
That's not 1021.
Where was the... There we go. That's the one I wanted.
Still not enough.
You're close. You're in the neighborhood. Everybody's at the same, so I have to change that on Avis's. So you're at 85-19, everybody.
Yeah.
Where does one track that?
It's right beside the combat tracker. You'll also see the party sheet. So if you click on that, it's got a list of all the stuff that you guys can do. Let's see. Let me just change.
There's another spot. It's on your character sheet on the main page, and the block where here class and level. There's a little magnifying glass.
Yep. If you click on that, I've just adjusted yours to get.
It says Luna's level 4, Wizard 1, Wizard 3. That's a weird.
Oh, okay. So, maybe she dragged.
Yeah, that's some levels.
All right. Well, I'll fix that up. Make sure everything numbers out. What happens is when you drag the same character level over from different sources, it kind of stacks when it's not supposed to. So
that's why he's such a good stick-wielding wizard.
I'll fix that up next week.
I know.
Good job, guys. That was fun. That was a fun night.
All right. 2 weeks.
It's kind of it feels a little heavy-handed sometimes busting out Ningauble and Shielba, but in the grand scheme of my adventure arc, it sort of makes sense. And it seemed like a good way to introduce you guys to one another.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was great.
I got the last book, and I'm waiting for my next trip to Florida to finish it. Bayford has lost his hand, and all sorts of things are happening.
Oh, okay. So I think Shielba and Ningauble appear in the Bazaar of the Bazaar for sure.
That was before, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what other stories. I think they gave Fafford the Veil of True Seeing and the Cloak of Invisibility to go in and save the Mouser from the Devourers from the other dimension.
Well, plus they helped the eye one helped with the rat issue.
Yeah, that's right too. They appeared in the Rat King's invasion. I forget what that story is called. And I think they were also in the Adept's Gambit. I think that's how they wound up in Earth, wandering through Ningauble's caves.
I gotta say that rat storyline has been my favorite so far.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, it's because it started, with like a short story, and then it wound into a big thing happening in the city, and it developed a lot of characters that you're seeing over and over. So
yeah,
I like it.
It was kind of like a world-spanning sort of save the world adventure kind of deal. Save the city anyway, which is normally that's abnormal for those stories.
Well, a lot of interesting characters in it, and I really like the bad guys.
The rats, Hisvin and
the lady and her handmaiden.
Hisvet.
Yeah, and they're just anyway, good stuff.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
So, yep.
Thanks, Lou, for joining us.
Yes. Welcome aboard, Lou. That was well done. I know it's kind of weird. I throw you right into the mix, and I don't give you a lot of background or anything. It's kind of sometimes it's interesting to see what players will come up with off the cuff. We could start.
Well, I've given you something to play with, then.
Yep, definitely. It's going to be fun.
Well, let's try and make it to level 12 or so.
All right. Let's.
I would love to be level 12.
But definitely, just so I know what to plan for, you guys are definitely going to go dockside looking for Miria?
It seems so, yes.
Okay.
Unless there's something else, my other thing was maybe eradicating the cult in the city, but
we'll kind of do whatever you tell us to do. We are a flowing river, and you can direct us.
No, I like to leave your agency up to you guys.
It bothers me that lady, got away with so much. She's still at large, so that kind of bothers me.
I hope we're strong after story now. It'd be a real shame if we weren't.
So we got a few loose threads. I'll try to have everything prepared for. It's hard for me to guess what eventualities you guys are going to want to pursue. But I think I've got a pretty good idea what you're looking to do.
Well, we got
Okay.
turning in the key. We got
Yep, turning in the key. You've got the potential temple and Maria.
yeah. So Maria would probably be better if we made level, and then had a little more power behind us. But the closing of the temple would be a good thing. I was thinking it would be interesting to talk to that dreamer guy again. I mean, if he's not just completely tied to the temple, um, that seems to me it might be an interesting angle.
No, he was. You got the impression that he was trying to lure people away from that temple so he could start his own.
Yeah,
The like
that
the
seems interesting to me.
like the priest of Azathoth, the dreamer, the doorway. He was just kind of out ranting while these guys were all waiting in line to get their drug fix.
He
And
was connecting to some god without using artificial remedy, right?
yeah, yeah. And he was having no effect.
Right. To me, that's kind of interesting. I wouldn't mind helping him a bit.
Yeah, he's definitely an interesting character that's always around. Whether he's a madman or not, or whether he's got some kind of power, you don't know.
Hey, Paper spent some time at the Temple District helping a
He sure did.
cult.
That was a cool story too. I like the
Yeah.
way that one ended.
So I wouldn't mind helping this guy.
All right, cool.
Anyway, all right, 2 weeks.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, and good job.
Yep. Great.
Bye.
Night, everybody.
See y'all later.